Marvel just announced the cast for their upcoming TV series with Hulu, The Runaways. But who exactly are the Runaways? I'm Joe Starr, and this is Screen Junkies News. Yesterday, Marvel announced their casting for The Runaways, a series announced with Hulu back in August. But despite the critical acclaim of the comics and it being attached to creators like Brian K. Vaughan and Joss Whedon, they still remain more of a cult favorite. Marvel released this summary of the series. Runaways follows a group of 6 teenagers in the Marvel Universe who discover that their parents are secretly members of a supervillain cabal called the Pride. After deciding they're no longer safe in their own homes, the kids go on the run. In the midst of hiding from their elders, the teens learn about themselves and become a family of their own. So, when this comic came out, it made sort of big waves. And to talk to me about those big waves is Markia McCarty. Thanks for hanging out.
Yes, absolutely.
So, we were pretty big Runaways fans when this came out. It was a Brian K. Vaughan comic. It felt a lot different from other stuff Marvel was putting out. Sort of fun.
Yeah, it was fun, but it was very relatable also, and it hit a perfect demographic and like the perfect time for a lot of people. Where it's like, yeah, my parents could be evil geniuses, and I have to escape.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And I remember reading this and being like, and really sort of gospeling to other people, like, you got to read this. So let's do our part again now that the show's coming out, and let's go through who the Runaways are. Let's meet the Runaways. So first we've got Alex Wilder. He's sort of the team leader. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely the team leader. We're gonna keep this spoiler free, by the way.
Yeah, we're gonna really do our best to keep some surprises.
Although, tweet at us if you want some spoilers. No problem with that.
Yeah. I like talking about the Runaways.
He could see him as a loner type, but it's more like he's genius level, like tactician, which is what I feel for him.
Yeah.
Nerd, video games, yes, but oh my goodness.
Yeah, a little detached, but just sort of his brain is sort of his own worst enemy, kind of gets ahead of him a lot.
Yeah, he's always thinking. He's always 3 steps ahead.
Yeah, and he's being played by Rini Falez. And he's a kid. He's an engineer. He's sort of a young Tony Stark without the charisma in a way. Like
I love that. I love that a lot.
If Tony Stark was a real kid instead of like the kid everyone wants to be. Next, we've got one of my favorite characters, Nico Minoru, Sister Grimm, who's our wizard. I like magic stuff. I love magic in the MCU.
She's our magic user, most definitely.
Yeah, she is. She would have been the coolest character in The Craft, arguably one of the greatest movies ever made. She's sort of
arguably, yes.
Yeah, arguably, yeah. That's another video, though.
Exactly. I love that video. I love that video.
Stick
around
for next week's edition of me and Markia talk about The Craft at length.
Which is another cult classic that has critical acclaim.
Absolutely. So we actually saw Tina's mom in Doctor Strange.
Yes, we did.
So that's kind of a nice little Easter egg for this.
I don't believe she was credited, though.
Right.
Yeah.
But
it was her.
Yeah.
It was her.
Nice little swing in there. So she wields a magical item called the Staff of One, which she summons from her body by drawing blood. She also has what I think you could argue against in Brightest Day and Blackest Night as a cool line to pull the staff out of her body.
Yes. When blood is shed, let the staff of one emerge.
Oh, that's a real good magic line.
Yeah.
For a superhero
So then it's not
movie.
Just, I cut my finger. Oh, here's the staff.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
There's intent.
There's intent. She's sort of tough. She's independent. She's sort of put on this goth persona to kind of keep people at bay, which...
Or one could say to have that kind of be like a moat or a filter for fake people don't want to, bother coming through with that. So only real people are allowed.
Exactly. The property's a little older, so that sort of goth persona now could feel a little dated. But who knows? With nostalgia being what it is, maybe that'll be super popular.
Yeah, they'll probably update it just a bit.
Yeah, just a little.
They could do that.
She's being played by Lyrica Akano. Excuse me.
Something awesome about the Staff of One, though, you can't do the same spell twice. If you do, it will misfire, and it'll be like the Wabajack, where anything could happen.
Which is awesome.
Which is very awesome.
I love that she's got, instead of just being like, I'm magic, like she has really like defined rules and again, we're being real spoiler free, but adds to some really fun complications in the story.
Yeah, but I love that each of them have their own kind of limitations. Like something I love about Alex, though, his limitation is more of a personality and keeping things close to the chest, as opposed to having a power limitation.
Yeah, no, which is very cool and also comes into play a lot.
Spoilers! Yeah. No spoilers. No spoilers.
Moving on to Carolina Dean, who visually is probably my favorite Runaway.
No, really?
What?
What the heck you say?
Carolina Dean looks awesome. Her code name is Lucy in the Sky, which is such a good code name. She's being played by Virginia Gardner. She's sort of model perfect. I think on the surface, she's sort of supposed to be one of the plastics from Mean Girls, but she's Regina on the outside and Lindsay Lohan on the inside from maybe.
Oh, okay, from that same movie.
From that same movie.
From that same movie.
Yes.
I get where you're going with it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's vegan. She's actually beautiful inside, like she is outside. She's an alien, which is awesome.
Yes.
And that's not a spoiler. I mean, if they couldn't tell from that picture, then I don't know.
Right, yeah. She's what they termed bioluminescent.
Yes. She's a Majestanian. I believe is how you pronounce it.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't remember the alien race name, but that's why I got you here, Markia. She can fly. She absorbs solar radiation that she can shoot out of her body, and her codename is Lucy in the Sky, which is awesome. I love her.
She can do concussive like bursts. She can do lasers from her hands. She can do force fields. She's pretty darn amazing.
She can kill you. She can kill you really good. Then there's
and something that's very awesome about the character is that she's very fluid. And yes, it comes to powers, but also in sexuality. So I wonder how they're going to play that with this.
That'll be sort of a fun thing to sort of explore and play up as well. Gertie Yorks is next. She plays Arsenic, which is sort of an odd code name. And do we talk about Gertie? Because that's one of my favorite reveals in the book.
I like that you're calling her Gertie. It's like she belongs to us.
Yeah, she's mine.
It's Gertie.
She's another, I think, of the really relatable characters.
Yes.
She's kind of Daria.
Yeah,
in a way.
She believes in she's got kind of like a socialist thing-ish going on. She's very much into like social justice. She does not actually have any powers.
Right.
And I'm surprised that they didn't say, oh, here's the top 7 for Hulu's, because she has a telepathic bond to Old Lace.
Right.
So we get a dinosaur.
Which is going to be...
We get a dinosaur.
Awesome. Yeah, it's such a weird that's one thing I like about Runaways quite a bit, as opposed to X-Men, where like everyone's going to be a mutant and either fly or shoot energy blasts. The powers and range of what these kids are capable of in Runaways is so silly and fun. Like there's a half alien and a girl's got a dinosaur, and one of them's just super brilliant. And she's being played by Ariella Bearer. Something I like about this is, these are kind of unknown characters, at least to the general public. I can put my glasses up to my face and go, actually, the Runaways all day. But for the most part, they're going with pretty unknown actors to really sort of make these their own.
Yeah, I am not familiar with these actors. I'm familiar with the shows that they've come from. Like, for instance, with Barrier, she was on New Girl. Apparently, there's a lot of episodes of New Girl. I must have missed that episode or that arc. Because she's playing Gert, so I know she's going to be amazing with it. But yeah, I like that they're doing lesser knowns for this property. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, and then plus, if we had somebody more well-known, maybe I wouldn't be able to have the suspension of disbelief to be, oh, yeah, obviously she comes from time-traveling supervillains.
Exactly. Yeah, I think they're sort of trying to let these characters and the story sort of speak for itself more than the star power. And moving forward through the team, we have Chase Stein, codenamed Talkback, who is, I guess, the Emilio Estevez of their Breakfast Club. He's sort of the jock. He plays lacrosse.
Yeah.
He's actually very smart and sort of hides that under sort of the exterior of
Yeah, I think
being this bro.
society kind of probably did that to him, that and who his parents were and the such. But it's like, yes, he's a brilliant engineer. You know, he has gauntlets that he uses. Also, he has, and this part I really love because he's a teenage boy and he has X-ray goggles. So that happens.
And they're the fistigons, which I love that dumb name. He's got Iron Man hands. They're kind of similar to in Civil War, the weapons that Crossbones uses against Captain America in the Civil War movie. Probably a little more successful and useful than what Crossbones had, but sort of in that vein. And then rounding it out is probably the fan favorite character of the group, Molly Hernandez, whose codename is Princess Powerful.
Yeah, originally known as Molly Hayes. For anybody who's like, wait, who's that?
They've changed it up. Yeah, they've changed it up a little bit to from Hayes to Hernandez. She's being played by Allegra Acosta. She is young, peppy, sweet, and one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe.
Yes. Superhuman strength, amazingness.
Yes. She's like if you took a little girl with the mindset of a Twilight Sparkle or a Pinkie Pie in My Little Pony, but gave her the power to take on the
She's
Hulk.
Bubbles.
Exactly. Yeah, she's
Bubbles.
Absolutely Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls. She's incredibly strong. She's a mutant, but Marvel doesn't really have the rights to use the term mutant, so it'll be sort of interesting to see what they do there.
Powered human?
Yeah, a powered human and probably an inhuman. Because we have hit those on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a little bit.
Okay. Something that I'm wondering with this, since they have Runaways, and obviously this is going to be a brilliant property, eventually we'll get Hulkling, and we'll have to go into Kree and Skrull hybrid territory.
It could get weird.
And then Marvel, and we get the princess, we get everything.
Yeah, I think is eventually narrative is going to require some companies do some working together.
They're going to have to start shaking some hands.
Yes, exactly. But I think this is going to be a great show. Jeff Loeb, who is a comics legend, and he oversees Marvel TV, said the fun and chemistry that this group of talented actors create is wonderful. We're so excited to bring these beloved characters to life. I think we've been waiting for this one for a long time. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. It's almost like one of those things that you didn't realize that you could have it, and now it's here, and it's like, how could I ever do without it?
Yes, exactly.
It's one of those things.
Like the Generation X made for TV movie from the 90s. Sorry. Just sometimes I think about that. I'm gonna call my therapist, so we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah.
Marquise, thanks for hanging out.
Absolutely.
Internet, we want to hear from you guys. What's the thing you're most excited about the Runaways? Try to keep it spoiler-free for people who have not discovered this property yet. Let us know in the comments. Click over in this area for more internet goodness from us, and keep watching Screen Junkies News. Thanks, guys, for hanging out.